first year in LA, LeBron missed the playoffs, but he got the help he needed in AD, and that duo just had their 7th game this postseason where both scored 25 points on 50% shooting from the field. That is the most by teammates in a single postseason ever, more, as you see, than even the ultimate duo of Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. And here is a long-lost friend, Chris Bosh. It has been much too long since we've had a chance to say hello to you. Thank you so much for getting up with us here today. So, Chris, let's talk about this game last night. Obviously, it was a dominating performance from the Lakers. So now your team, the Heat, have to go back to the drawing board and make the adjustments. What must they do to turn this thing around Friday night in Game 2?
Well, I think first things first, just that graphic you showed up, it's really hard to stop LeBron and AD, but if they're both shooting over 25 points a game on 50% shooting, then, you're probably not going to win many of those games. I think this is just one of those things, let's be honest. Rip up that old game plan that you had if you're the Heat, ball it up, throw it in the trash, and move forward. I think really it all came down to the effort plays last night, as well as the injuries. But if you look at how the Heat usually play their offense, their defense, they weren't true to their identity last night. So I think if they want to be competitive, they have to get back to the basics. They have to play better on defense, and those effort plays, mitigating those second chance points and offensive rebounds, they've got to do a better job of that too.
You just saw a flurry of injuries, and we showed that at the beginning of our show here this morning. Jimmy Butler got hurt, Dragic got hurt, Bam Adebayo got hurt. Hopefully they'll have all of those guys in Game 2 tomorrow night. None of them have been ruled out, at least as of yet. But let's talk about what the bigs, or the big in this case, can do, because that's your area of the floor. The Lakers have so many big guys that they can sort of pummel you with. And Bam Adebayo is kind of in there by himself. What can the Heat do to try and counteract all that size and strength the Lakers have?
Well, I mean, they do have size and strength themselves. I know they'll probably have to reach into their bench a little bit, probably give some minutes to the other bigs that are out there that will compromise a little bit of their defense. But you have to give it to the Lakers. When they built this team last year, it was known that they were going to have a lot of size. They signed size. JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, you can fit him in there too. Just the size that they have and the athleticism on the front line is really second to none, probably one of the longest teams in NBA history. And that was always going to make them difficult, and especially with that defense first mentality under Vogel, you could tell that they were going to thrive in that kind of system. They have so many long arms on defense. They get in passing lanes. They can really, just hurt you down low in the paint. And, they're unique in that sense. But if I'm the Heat, I've probably got to reach into the reserves a little bit, because last night they were definitely outmatched. You had those big guys playing volleyball with the ball down there, really doing what they do. And they're going to have to find a way to stop it. Easier said than done.
Chris, you were there, obviously, for LeBron's years in Miami, and it isn't a secret that upon his departure, the relationship between he and Pat Riley, it didn't end particularly well. How much more do you think this series means to both of them because of that dynamic?
Well, I mean, it's an NBA championship up for grabs. I think that is more important than anything else. But hey, let's be honest. If you're playing an old team, if you're playing an old coach, an old friend, you definitely don't want to lose. Not that it's a rivalry, but you want to put your best foot forward. And if you can go up against a LeBron James-led team on the court, or a Pat Riley team led in the office, it's a special victory for you. So we're all competitors. I know those guys are competitors too. I don't believe it if they say it doesn't mean more or less. It always means more. And, Game 2 is going to be a little bit more intense, especially after that showing last night.
Heat are going to need to bring it again. That one's tomorrow night. Outstanding. Chris Bosh, it's great to see you, my man. Thank you so much for a few minutes today.
I appreciate it. Good to see you too, Mike.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.